One, two, three. One, two, three. We're doing good?
We're doing good. I hear you.
Okay, perfect. Come on, Brother Rashid. Let's do this. Inshallah. For the knowledge of the audience, our name is Brother Rashid Mari and myself, Jesus Marti, and this is our first program on Secrets of the Light. That's a tentative name. Let's do a votation on that with the Jonestours on this coming Saturday. Whichever name they choose, we will take. And we are broadcasting live from the Muzala in Poinciana. ICO Poinciana Muzala. This is attached. This is sponsored by Masjid Al Jamal on 12354. It's Ruby Lake Road, Orlando, Florida 32836. And also the main sponsor of this program is Sheikh Imam Tariq, Rashid Tariq. So brother, what is today's topic?
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونتوب إليه ونعوذ من شرور أنفسنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. All praise are due to Allah. We seek His help and guidance. Whomever Allah guide, none can misguide. Whomever Allah leave astray to His own crookedness, none can guide. Assalamu alaikum to all our audience. And this is our first show live from Poinciana, alhamdulillah. So inshallah today, as Brother Jesus mentioned, we will be talking about a topic dear to my heart, is the fact of creation. Everywhere you go...
Let me translate.
Yeah, inshallah.
Buenos días, hermanos. This is the Spanish version. Buenos días, hermanos. Este es el primer programa. Va a ser, hoy estamos hablando de la prueba de la creación. Toda alabanza es debida, es una deuda que tenemos siempre con Dios. Lo que Dios, como nosotros lo llamamos siempre, Allah, es el nombre perfecto de Dios, guía, no se desvía. Lo que Allah siempre tiene sus caminos, no hay ninguna duda de que va a proceder correctamente. Debemos proceder siempre en sus caminos y no tener nunca vacilación de el destino a donde vamos a llegar siempre que estemos en sus sendas. Brother Rashid, please.
Yeah, while visiting my in-laws last week, I was with them and I was enjoying their company, and then they were having the TV on, and it was in PBS program about Bill Nye. You're all familiar with him. He's the scientist. Tried to be funny, but I used to enjoy his shows. But I didn't know that he was an atheist, and that's his choice. But
it was a person who was basically your
no. He's a scientist in the show.
Okay,
now we're just in TV.
Okay.
Just watching on TV. And then he is trying to indoctrinate the kids with the notion that there is no God, or with the notion of their evolution and things like that. So they're very problematic. So this comes to mind the answer of Imam Shafi'i when he was asked by an atheist, can you prove to me the oneness of God? Imam Shafi'i respond. Imam Shafi'i. Yeah, go ahead.
La traducción en español, hermanos. El hermano Rashid estaba visitando a sus suegros, a sus in-laws, y al estar en compañía de sus suegros estaban viendo esto, su programa, o todos ellos, un programa de la persona, un individuo llamado Bill Nye. Este individuo hablaba de que él no es un científico gracioso, se llama a sí mismo como un científico no gracioso, y en televisión estaba reclamando de que estaba alegando de que no existe un Dios. La respuesta, el hermano Rashid pensó en eso, de cuál sería una buena respuesta para este señor, y se acordó de la respuesta que le dio Imam Shafi, que era un erudito o un especialista y muy conocedor profundo del Islam. Él es musulmán y está hablando sobre lo que Imam Shafi le explicó sobre qué es un ateísta.
So with the permission of our audience, inshallah, we're going to be talking a little bit of Arabic, English, and then Spanish. So just to stay true to the text, because when you translate something, it loses some of its linguistic meanings.
Be patient with us, please.
So therefore, we're trying to stay.
In Spanish. Excuse me.
inshallah. So سئل الإمام الشافعي ما الدليل على وحدانية الله؟ قال: ورقة التوت تأكلها الدودة فتخرجها حريرا طريا، وتأكلها النحلة فتخرجها عسلا شهيا، وتأكلها الشاة فتخرجها لبنا صفيا نديا. This is very important to beautiful quotation from Imam Shafi'i that he said. He was asked, explain to us the oneness of Allah, or the oneness of the Creator. He said, look at the example of the berry tree leaf, which becomes silk when eaten by the caterpillar. The caterpillar eating this fruit, which is the berry tree leaf, and then what comes out of it, silk. And we all know what the silk does, the importance of it. They make clothing of it, and it was very important. It is still important to this day. When eaten by the caterpillar, it becomes silk. When eaten by the honey bee, it becomes honey. So let me repeat. Imam Shafi'i explained the oneness of God to an atheist with the example of the berry tree leaf, which becomes silk when eaten by the caterpillar, becomes honey when eaten by bees, and becomes musk when eaten by a musk deer. Different outcome, but the same origin. Different outcome, but the same origin. Just look at the example of this tree leaf, how many, all these different animals eating it, and the different outcome. Look at how the perfection of the creation. This show us how magnificent the creation is, how complex. We human beings, we are in the embryonic phase of understanding anything, and yet arrogantly we claim that there is no creator. As if when you wake up and you find a car, be it a BM or be it any car in front of you, somebody got it for you, and you say this just come across like that. Would you accept that illogical reasoning like that? Just so a hurricane just come and went to a junkyard and then came up with this perfect new model of this car, an electric car, whatever the case might be, and put right in front of my door because I was dreaming about that car. And they come, people are gonna think, and they are rightfully so, that you are crazy. Likewise, when someone of a scientist say a statement like this, say a statement that's universe with all its complexity, with all its intricate design, just come like that, just like that, with no creator, it come to question the same thing of the reasoning of the car. This is just going off the subject, but at the same time, it's just to illustrate the example. Go ahead, Brother Jesus.
Nos dice el hermano Rashid también de que Imam Shafi explicó en cuanto a la unicidad de Dios. Y al explicarle esto a una persona que es ateísta, una persona que no es creyente, le hizo el ejemplo de un árbol de fresas en donde la fresa se convierte en seda cuando esta es consumida. En algunos países la fresa le dicen bayas o cerezas. Vemos que entonces esa fresa se convierte en seda cuando se la consume la oruga, cuando la consume o se la come la oruga de la mariposa, el gusano de la mariposa. Se convierte en miel cuando esta es consumida por las avispas, por las abejas, y entonces vemos también de que se convierte en perfume, en fragancia, cuando quien la consume es el venado de la fragancia, del musk. Vemos los diferentes resultados que esto tiene. O sea, vemos entonces la fantástica y la fabulosa inteligencia y creatividad de nuestro creador. Vemos que con tres diferentes, un solo árbol consumido por tres diferentes especies de animales, mariposas, abejas y un ciervo, y vemos entonces cómo ese mismo árbol, un venado, vemos cómo ese mismo árbol nos produce tres cosas diferentes, que es la seda, es la miel y es también entonces fragancias como lo son los perfumes. Estos resultados pues son unos, vemos nosotros que esos son uno de muchos de los milagros que trae la creación y que nosotros tenemos que ver, la grandeza en términos de la unicidad y cuán grandioso, cuán espectacular es nuestro Creador, Allah, nuestro Dios. Go ahead, Brother Rashid.
Yeah, just a side note, like the silk, we're all familiar with it. It's a natural protein fiber which is obtained from the coconut larvae of the mulberry silkworm. And it has been used for so many centuries. The cities and villages that were flourished because of the silk road and so forth. Silk, as we know, changed history, opened opportunities, enriched economies, and brought nations together. In the Islamic tradition, it is the clothing material for the inhabitant of paradise. And in this world, just as I know, men are not allowed to wear silk as a Muslim man. Only that's for the beautification of the women. But in the hereafter, in paradise, there will be a different type of one that man is allowed to. Just so we can be clear about that. So now we're speaking about honey. We mentioned that just eating from the same fruit, different animals eating the same fruit and giving different outcome. We give the example of the silkworm, which is eating the same berry and give silk. Also the honey, the honeybee, we eating the same berry and giving honey. That's an amazing thing. And a fact about honey, the worker bees are all female. In the Quran, there is something strange about the number. Even the Surah, chapter 16, is mentioned in the bees. Chapter 16, it called it the bees. The only verse that mentioned the bees is made up of 16 words, and those words are made up of 16 different letters. There is so many miracles. And not coincidentally, miraculously, also there is 16 chromosomes 16 chromosomes. Female bees have 16 pair of chromosomes, while the male bees has also 16 chromosomes. The males have no father. Males are unfertilized eggs of the mother, just like, for example, Jesus, my peace and blessing be upon him, which we call Isa. This is a fact. This is like, this is Allah is telling us. Look at the creation of the bee and ponder upon it. Even to show you the numerical miracle in the Quran, the chapter 16 of the Quran, which is the bee, Al-Nahla. The bees itself have 16 chromosomes. Mm-hmm. And the female bees is the one who produced the honey, and they produce a huge quantity, not just for themselves, for all humanity.
There's one thing that you should mention also, brother.
Yeah.
Remember that also how steady in their labor and how many times.
Amazing, yeah, amazing.
Both the males and the females, they have to be visiting the flowers.
Yeah, they work. That's we're gonna come to that. We're gonna come to that. So this idea of survival of the fittest doesn't make any sense. Why would the bee, who they are fighting, who they're fighting for, what they're doing, they're producing things more than they need for the benefit of humanity. They were created to be subservient to us for our benefit, for the benefit of you see bears eating eating honey, mm-hmm. You see human beings. There is so many, animals and human beings benefiting from the bees. So why they working so hard? And when you see how many bees they visit just to produce 1 pound or 1 ounce of that shows you that the creator of the heavens and the earth, he's the one who inspired the bee mm-hmm. to do so. And there is medicine also in it. There is medicine also, miracles, so many miracles. And we're only touching the surface here. We're only highlighting
it's a great message.
some of the benefit. Go ahead, Brother Yusuf, if you want to translate. Jazakumullah.
Certainly, my pleasure. It's a great message, and the contents of it are just outstanding. and overwhelmingly just positive. Para beneficio de la audiencia de habla hispana, la seda es una fibra de proteína natural que se obtiene de los huevos de la larva del gusano de la fresa. La selva ha sido utilizada para estar fabricando vestimentas por muchos siglos y debemos mencionar también al país, a China, que últimamente ha resultado ser muy famoso también por lo del coronavirus, sea cierto o no sea cierto, no nos parece que lo sea, pero fue famoso China también al estar envuelto en el asunto de la seda. Esto es el motivo por el cual el camino de la seda siempre floreció por muchos siglos, y este camino de la seda pues se originaba precisamente en China. Las ciudades y las villas en donde este camino discurría, por donde atravesaba, prosperaron debido a este producto tan impresionante. Estamos viendo entonces el mensaje de Dios. We're seeing God's message here, which is not only the creation of the bee, no solamente la creación de la abeja, not only the creation of the silk, no solo la creación de la seda, sino que también estamos viendo cómo floreció, how everything flourished financially, so that everything was within the plan of Allah. Todo estaba dentro del plan de nuestro Creador, dentro del plan de Dios. Vemos lo bonito que es esto, porque Él se las ingenió para que un animalito tan pequeñito pudiese producir y pudiese resultar financieramente tan productivo y tan beneficioso para nosotros. La seda cambió la historia, abrió oportunidades, enriqueció economías y trajo a naciones a trabajar y a lidiar unos con otros. Que in there, when it says and brought nations together, we should remember what Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah, that created from you from a man and a woman, and then from there you were supposed to be tribes, and then so that you can go and meet and get to know each other.
Absolutely.
Vemos como Dios trajo entonces a todas estas naciones juntas. En la tradición islámica es la ropa, el material de los habitantes del paraíso también. That's beautiful too. Silk is the clothing of the inhabitants of the paradise.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure they're wearing silk, brother. I'll be wearing silk too.
In Jannah, but we're here now, as men are not allowed to wear silk or to wear gold.
In paradise?
No, here. In
this, no, not in here.
No, here. Women, that's for the women. You know, that's for the ladies, not for men. That's a totally different thing.
I'm thinking about paradise. I don't care anywhere. I don't want silk here.
We are able to do this show thanks to many people that behind the scene are working hard to do this. For example, this camera in front of us. How did it come here? There is Brother Wasfi, who thinks Brother Wasfi is doing the AV and he is controlling the camera and everything. So someone was there to set up the camera, do the lighting.
Those are our own scene heroes.
So there is not just come like that. So going back to the honey, just a side note, to the honeybee visit
let me finish the part of the station.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, she continues to be Vemos entonces que esto fue... No, I'll let you go, but
no, go ahead. By all means, go ahead.
Let's cover it correctly, well.
Inshallah.
Vemos aquí que entonces esto es otra cosa que mencionamos aquí entonces, que eso es, en la tradición islámica, es el material que se utiliza por los habitantes del paraíso, es precisamente esa, la seda. Vemos entonces cómo todo esto funciona en la mente de nuestro Creador, en la mente de Dios. Una abeja que produce miel visita entre 50 y 100 flores durante un vuelo para hacer la colección, desde que esta va de la colmena hasta el bosque para buscar las flores. De manera de que se pueda producir una sola libra de miel, one pound of honey. Nos dice que tienen que visitar 2 millones de flores. La colmena de las abejas tiene que volar 55,000 millas para producir una sola librita de miel. Así que tengamos nosotros en mente eso cuando nosotros vayamos a consumir miel en nuestras casas. Esa librita de miel que tenemos frente a nosotros le costó el trabajo de tener volar 55,000 millas para poder producirse esa librita de miel.
Amazing. You see how the honey, the honeybee are working so hard, not only to produce honey, but also important in all the vegetation, because pollination, you know, I mean, they're very important, very important.
Yes.
So throughout the world, there is you know, the honeybees are dying, and there's a crisis, you know, and the whole world has come to realize the importance of honey. When the honey, and there is no more honey, there will be no more human being. You know, Allah has created them to subserve us, and they are very important in maintaining pollination of the plants.
Is that one of the signs of the end of the days?
Not necessarily, but you know, we the human being are contributing in the pollution of everything. And there is a verse about that in the Quran. We will touch that on climate change and everything. So we want to stay, because we have a lot of information to cover. So as Brother Jesus translated, the honeybee visit 50 to 100 flowers during one collection flight, and in order to produce 1 pound of honey, 2 million flowers has been visited, and there is so many information. We mentioned that the honeybees are all female. In the Quran, there is something, the worker bees are all female. In the Quran, there is something strange about the number 16 of the bees. Chapter 16 is called the bees. The only verse that mentions the bees is made up of 16 words, and all those words have 16 letters. It turned out to be that they have also 16 in their chromosome. Female bees have 16 pair of chromosomes, while the male have also 16 chromosomes. Look at the magnificent, look at this miracle in the Quran. Nothing is in chance, to show you that stems from the creator of the heavens and the earth. The one who created the honey is the one who inspired them to produce honey for their own and for all humanity, and also for animals as well. So, and your Lord revealed to the bee, build your hives in mountains, trees, and what they build. Then eat, this is for the females, from every fruit, and follow for your Lord's slave path, for its bellies. From its bellies exists drink of different colors. In it there is a healing for man, and there are signs for those who contemplate. We know this is a miraculous medicinal nature of honey. If it's pure, it's not messed up with the people, or if it's not manufactured or something like that. If it's raw in its pure form, and if it's, you don't add sugar to it and stuff like that, it has a lot of healing, and it has a lot of properties. How could an illiterate man who lived more than 1,400 years ago have known about those honey bees and that they are female? How could he know about all this information? How could an illiterate who lived 100,000 know about the honey bee has an extra tonic for honey? The bees build their hives from their own wax. Whoever scientists just discovered bees that build hives in wood and even in solid rock. They call them carpenter bees. Carpenter bees drill their hives in wood.
Do you know what the verse is?
The reference, I would say 16, because chapter 16.
Chapter 16?
Yes.
No, 16.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, keep going.
So there is I would invite our audience to search from a scientific point of view, to search about the bees, to study the bees and the miraculous nature of the bees and their properties. So that way, when we raise awareness, you become more aware that you don't harm these bees. You don't use any chemicals in your garden or anything that can harm them. Rather, you want to use something that is bees friendly. You want to take care of these bees because they are taking care of a human being. They are there to subservient us, and we cannot harm them. By harming them, we're harming ourselves. But we are deriving our sustenance from the earth, and we have to maintain this earth. We have to be steward of the earth. So it's only natural that when we come, knowledge is power. When we realize these things, we are more conscious about the environment. We are more thankful of the Creator of the heavens that created us and created this heavens and the earth for our benefit. And
verse 68.
Yes. Sure.
It says in Allah.
Dr. Jesus is very precise, so he like to the reference, so that way you go to the Quran in Spanish and then translate. So that's we have to stay true to the reference. We can just say make up something like that. So
yeah, we don't want to make up.
Absolutely
we don't
not,
want
because
to
we are
misquote
held accountable for every single word we say.
Yes. And in English, it's and your Lord taught the bee to build its cells in hills, on trees, and in men's habitations. Then to eat all the produce of the earth, and find with skill spacious paths of it, Lord of its Lord. There issues from within their bodies a drink of varying colors, wherein is healing for men verily. And this is a sign for those who give thanks. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Y en español dice, y tu Señor inspiró a la abeja y le dijo, toma las montañas moradas y en los árboles y en lo que construyen, es decir, en lo que construyen los hombres, como también en su habitación, como lo son los panales. Luego come todo tipo de frutos y ve por los senderos de tu Señor dócilmente. De su vientre sale un jarabe de color diverso que contiene una cura para los hombres, que es un antibiótico para nosotros, la miel. You know that the honey is an antibiotic for us.
Of course, yeah.
Es cierto que en eso hay un signo para las personas que reflexionan. Vemos la belleza y lo espectacular como Dios se expresa para nosotros y para que podamos seguir sus enseñanzas. Siguiendo lo que decía el hermano Rashid en español, las abejas de la miel son abejas trabajadoras. Estas abejas trabajadoras son todas hembras. El Corán dice de que hay, la cita la hicimos antes, perdonen, el verso 16 a la aleya número 68, el Sura 16. En el Corán se dividen, no son capítulos ni versos, son los suras. El Sura número 16 a la aleya, y aya en español es la aleya. Vemos entonces que en el Corán es extraño como el número 16 se coordina también con las abejas. El capítulo 16 se llama el capítulo de las abejas. Los versos que hablan de las abejas en ese capítulo 16 solamente contienen 16 palabras. Y esas palabras están hechas de 16 diferentes letras. También ocurre de que las abejas tienen algo muy particular en cuanto a sus cromosomas. Estas abejas del sexo femenino, las abejas hembras, tienen 16 pares de cromosomas. Y entonces los machos, la abeja macho, la abeja varón, tiene 16 también cromosomas. Tiene 16 cromosomas, la otra tiene 16 pares de cromosomas. O sea que serían 32 y el varón tiene 16, que sería la mitad. El varón que no es padre nacen de huevos no fertilizados de la madre, tal como lo hace, tal como pasó con el nacimiento de Jesús. Vemos también que estas abejas que son trabajadoras, también ellas hacen la polinización, que es que recogen el polen y con esto que ellas producen entonces la miel. Estas son, en la realidad, son todas hembras. El macho no hace miel. Esto no se vino a conocer hasta recientemente, y entonces podemos ver cómo hace 1400 años atrás el Corán se refiere a las abejas que generan la miel como únicamente las abejas hembras. ¿Cómo es posible que un profeta que no era una persona ilustrada, que era una persona analfabeta, tuviese ese tipo de conocimiento? Vemos lo fabuloso y lo encantador que es la inteligencia de nuestro Creador. Go ahead, Brother Rashid, you said
Now let us ponder some verses of the Quran, and chapter 36, verse 33. 36, ayah 33. And of his signs, the signs of the Creator, and of his signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and what He has dispersed throughout them of creatures. This is 42, I'm sorry, this one is 42, verse 29. 42, Surah 42, Ayah 29. And of His signs is the creation of the heavens and the earth, and what He has dispersed throughout them creature. And of His sign, and the sign for them is the dead earth. We have brought it to life and brought it forth with its grain from it to eat. 36, 33. The earth, you know, sometimes in the seasons, it comes to it at one point, it's dead, and when the rain comes, it revives it. So God is pointing to us this fact. As God revived the earth when it was dead, is able also, for those who deny the hereafter, is able also to recreate us. The one who created us in the first place is able to recreate us. Not only that, he is able to recreate the very fingerprint. And this is very important, that the fingerprint was mentioned in the Quran before the advancement of science, before even it was mentioned anywhere else. It was mentioned in the Quran more than 1,400 years ago. This is a proof by itself of the authenticity of the Quran. This Quran cannot come from a human being. It is from the Creator Himself. That mention, the fingerprint, that mention, we're speaking about the bees, the miracle of the bees, that mention all of these facts. So going back to Imam Shafi'i, while he was conversing or he was dialoguing with an atheist, the atheist told him, well, give us a proof that there is a creator. He told him, Imam Shafi'i explained, the one who's got to an atheist with the example of the berry tree leaf, which becomes silk when eaten by the caterpillar, or the worms, and also becomes honey when eaten by bees, and become musk when eaten by the musk deer. So all this different outcome, but the same fruit when eaten by different things. So who inspired, who created this thing to give different things? And also the same thing can be applied by, you say, fruits. How many? They're coming from the same earth. One of them is spicy, one of them is sweet, one of them is sour, one of them. So look at different fruits, different things. Look at, to show you the miracles of creation. Go ahead, Dr. Jesus. I'm sorry, I went through a lot of information there. This is one of my verses. You got it? Okay, excellent.
Thank you so much. Nos dice también el hermano Rashid de que tenemos que ver, hay unas citas en el Corán, tenemos el Surah número 42 a la Aleya número 29. En inglés dice, and of His signs is the creation of the heavens and earth and what He has dispersed throughout them of creatures. En español es, entre sus signos está la creación de los cielos y de la tierra y los animales que a lo largo de ella repartió. Y Él tiene poder para reunirlos a todos cuando quiera. Entonces tenemos también el Surah número 36 a la Aleya número 33. En inglés dice, un signo, a sign for them is the dead earth. We have brought it to life and brought forth from it grain and from it they eat. Y vemos aquí que dice, tenemos un signo en la tierra muerta a la que vivificamos y hacemos que en ella broten semillas de la que coméis. You know that about this dead earth issue? This was recently discovered and discussed. The experts are right now saying that we're supposedly that we're living in a parallel universe because the earth was for some reason destroyed. And look at what Allah is saying 1400 years ago. He's talking about the earth. Recently now, in the 21st century, is that we're talking about the parallel universe. It's unbelievable. You know, these are things that are so beautiful.
Well, the more truly, when there is the more science advance, the more they come to realize there is no contradiction between Islam, the Quran, and established scientific facts, not dogma.
Yes.
That's when I was shocked to see this Ben Nile scientist, he's a young scientist and everything, and arrogantly claiming there is no God. Who gave you the brain that you are utilizing? who give you the faculty to talk, that you are utilizing everything that God give you, and you're saying there is no God.
That is so beautiful. God gives him that right.
Who gives you the quality that you
to believe that God doesn't exist?
Yeah,
but he was created. He's alive. Thanks to God.
What they're saying is they know in their heart there is a creator. Everybody is free to. Let's say this. There is no compulsion in a religion. Quran says there is no compulsion in a religion. Islam is the only religion in the world that guarantee you the freedom of thinking, that guarantee you the free will. So when we send this message, we're not compelling nobody. We are just saying the truth as it is, because we are when you know that something is truthful, and you want to share it. Sharing is caring. So this is part of sharing, part of enlightening each other, part of learning from each other. That's why we're sharing the message. But we are not trying to compel anybody to believe anything. At the same token, it is a shame when we're not utilizing the faculty of the brain, of the thought. We're utilizing it everywhere else, but when it comes to the most important thing, we all were born. We all will die. If there is anything guaranteed in this life, is the fact that we will die. It's guaranteed. I don't care how much rich you are. I don't care what position you are. I don't care how big your bank account is. Whatever, if you own all the banks. You, me, the cameraman, everyone in this universe, every soul shall taste death. It's a reality. And we will be resurrected. That is why we are created in this life, to worship the Creator, to be tested in this life. We will be resurrected, and there is Day of Judgment, and there is absolutely everything point to that. Everything point to that. Our very body, the cells are always renewing itself. When we study the cells, your body is not the same like you used to be young. Everything is changing. Everything in your cells is changing, and everything. Look into this scientifically. You'll be amazed.
It's better now.
You'll be amazed how your immune system works. Look at the pandemic right now. It's very unfortunate. But at the same token, it brings the whole world to be humble, because people become so arrogant. They thinking they are the creator of the universe. What is your power? Towards a helpless, microscopic virus, which is the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. Look what it does. It brought the whole economy. It brought everything to the whole world into pause. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, we should see also that the people that actually nowadays, even though we have over 200,000 people that have already died over coronavirus only here.
And we'll promote this for everyone. This is like,
we need to have
wear your mask.
At all times, wear your mask, yes.
Wear your mask at all times.
And do social distancing, because that's healthy for you. Stay safe and protect yourself and protect other people and your family and your elders as well. But the important part is that even though there are so many people dying and we have this phenomenon going on today, there are people in denial. There are people saying that there's no coronavirus.
They're always going to be,
And then we have leaders in denial. And then we have leaders that are having activities, are having parties, 10, 15, 20 activities during the month of December. No social distancing, no mask wearing. So
Allah safeguard. That's why we have to bring awareness, to educate and so forth and so forth. So let's go back to our
Spanish.
Yeah, inshallah. To the translation. I'm saying.
Nos dice también el hermano Rashid que el Islam nos garantiza a todos nuestro derecho y nuestra libertad a tener esa libertad de pensamiento y de expresión. El Islam también, nuestra religión islámica, no obliga a nadie, o sea, no obliga a ninguna persona a creer ni a seguir. Cuando todos vivimos, todos vamos a morir, incluso aquellos que no creen. Para eso fuimos creados para adorar y para alabar, eso worship, que es adorar y alabar a nuestro Creador, que es Allah, el único, el verdadero, más misericordioso y el más compasivo. Vemos entonces que de todas estas cosas que hemos estado hablando en estos momentos, nos está hablando el hermano Rashid de que hemos tenido una serie de experiencias que tenemos que estar analizando. Él estaba hablando de este científico, de su arrogancia y su manera de él conducirse en términos de negar la existencia de Dios. Y al negar la existencia de Dios, pues vemos entonces que eso pues realmente trae como colación, trae como resultado lo que está haciendo ahora el hermano Rashid, que nos está trayendo la ilustración de por qué si ese señor dijo por qué no debíamos adorar a Dios, nosotros aquí estamos diciendo por qué sí. Aunque no existe un Dios, nosotros decimos aquí sí existe. Y estamos dando prueba y evidencia de ese Dios. Prueba y evidencia de cuando basó la información que dio Dios en el Corán hace 1400 años revelado al profeta Mohammed, y vemos donde él mismo habla de una tierra muerta, donde aparece en el capítulo 36, el verso 33. Él dice, tienen en un signo la tierra muerta a la que vivificamos, o sea que la revivimos, y hacemos que en ella broten semillas de las que coméis. O sea, él la revive, y no solamente la revive, sino que también que la hace que frute, que nos dé alimentos para los animales y para nosotros, para los seres humanos. Vemos la grandeza de Dios y la inteligencia de él.
And this phenomenon of the earth, we see it many often. You know, with you see different seasons. You see the leaves sometimes look at when you throw down, and then in the other season, the spring, everything comes to life. Yes. Similarly, if you go to some remote places in the desert or Africa or some remote places, you see the earth is like literally looks like that. You don't see sign of anything. And then when the rain comes, you see herbage come in, you see life come in, you see so many things. This is a constant reminder. God is pointing to this fact. He's telling us, hey, listen, as I revived this earth, look, it was, you saw it with your own eyes, it was there. As I revive it, is able to recreate us. He's like trying to mention to us the creation and of the next life. That's very important to take that into consideration. Let's go now to chapter 31, ayah 10, chapter Surah Luqman. Surah Luqman 31.
Would you mention?
Yeah, we will mention that. We'll go back, and we'll go back to it. 31. And chapter 10.
Go ahead.
So chapter 31, ayah 10, which states, Surah Luqman, He created the heavens without pillars as you see them, and put mountains upon the earth, lest it might converse with you. And He spread animals and all kinds, and we sent down water from the clouds, then caused it to grow, vegetation of every noble kind. So here we see, when you go outside, I recommend everyone to do this exercise. Look at the sky. We are right now in this building. This building has a roof, and the roof will not be. There is pillars that sustain this roof. If you take the pillar, the roof will collapse. In any building, for that matter. You build the foundation first, then you put the roof. The roof will not be sustained by itself. But when you walk outside, you see the skies. Who's holding the skies up? God is pointing to the fact here. There is a mechanism, a scientific mechanism, and we're not going to go into details, that's holding the sky itself up. There is a pillar, that invisible one, that we don't see. There is a mechanism how all the universe is synchronized. Everything is in perfect harmony. If the sun were to come just a little bit closer, we're all going to be burned. If the sun go a little bit, of course, a little bit, we're all going to be freeze to death. So everything is in proportion, how the alteration of night and day, and so many facts, scientific facts. This is a miracle that is happening every day. This morning when you wake up, when you went to sleep, it was dark. When you wake up, it was morning. So you see the light overcoming darkness. This is the alteration of day and night. And that's how we have the months, that's how we count the days and so forth. It's very important, and very important to everything, very important to the calendar, very important to the vegetation, very important Can you imagine there is some places where you can see the sun for the whole 6 months and so forth. So look at the blessing that we take for granted. And then after that, we're going to go back to Surah Al-An'am, inshallah. And are you ready for the translation? Or
Oh, yes. Born ready.
I love that. Brother, I was pleased that.
Nos dice mi hermano Rashid que tenemos el Surah Luqman. Surah Luqman es la Surah número 31. Acuérdese, el Corán no son capítulos. There's no chapters in the Quran. It's Surah. We have to follow what Allah has given us.
Surah
a diarios. Entonces tenemos aquí en español es el Surah Luqman, que es el capítulo número 31, y nos dice el capítulo 31 al verso, a la aleya número 10. Dice entonces: creó los cielos sin pilares que pudierais ver, y puso en la tierra cordilleras para que no se moviera con vosotros, y repartió por ella todo tipo de seres vivos. Y hacemos que caiga agua del cielo con la que hacemos crecer todo tipo de especies nobles. A esto, pues, el comentario que le tenemos es: cuando usted está en su casa y usted mira hacia el techo, ¿qué le ocurre? Cuando usted mira hacia el techo, pues usted ve, tiene ese techo que se mantiene uniforme, se mantiene plano, se mantiene elevado, pero debido a que tiene unas columnas, unas paredes que lo están sosteniendo. Él le hace esa alusión a ustedes, Él es Allah. Le está diciendo: creé los cielos sin pilares que puedas ver, y puse en la tierra cordilleras para que no se moviera con vosotros. Vemos entonces que Él tiene unas paredes, unas columnas invisibles de su propia creación, pero vemos la infinita compasión y misericordia de Dios, donde Él nos ha estado dando esto. Todos los días miramos hacia el cielo y vemos lo bellos que son, vemos lo infinito que son, vemos lo grande, lo amplios que son, pero no sabemos dónde comienzan ni dónde terminan. Y vemos en eso también la inteligencia de la creación de Allah, la inteligencia de la creación de Dios. Brother Rashid,
yeah, we'll go back now to Surah 6, Ayat 38. Surah 6, Ayat 38. Surah Al-An'am.
Get used to this, because Brother Rashid likes to go back and forth.
Yeah, sometimes, when you're talking, there is so many facts that you can
keeps you alert.
Share. So many facts, and just to illustrate the point. And it states, this is a translation: and there is no animal that walks upon the earth, nor a bird that flies with its 2 wings, but they are like yourself. Meaning, we are human beings, we have our progeny, we have multitude of people, nations and tribes and so forth. Similarly, the bees, there is like colonies of bees, they have their own set of there. They have some of them workers, some of them do that, some of them. If you look at the ants, I would recommend studying the ants, and there is a surah about the ant that talk about the ants. So anything that the Quran mentioned, we should pause and study it. This is that's the command of scientists. That no, you don't have to be a scientist, but it is good to learn and so forth. In Islam, encourage the people to study. All the bases of science were based on Islam, because the Muslims, they're the one who brought science to the whole world as a gift. Mm-hmm. And now with all this propaganda machine, they try to make it look like Islam. No, Islam never have any issue with science. In contrary, it encourage people to think, to ponder, because if you are a true scientist, you will come to realize about the creator of the heavens and the earth. Unless if you are arrogant and if you are ignorant and you have dogma, then that's something else. That's what we see. But in reality, the top scientists were scholars that come to realize, because when you study about anything, we're in the embryonic phase. Look at the brain, look at the cosmos. Each time we discover new galaxies, new this. It is unimaginable things. And it is very ignorant and arrogant to say all this come by just itself. That's it.
Look at that last paragraph, brother. I consider it so beautiful and so important. Uh-huh. It says in there, we have not neglected anything in the book.
Yeah.
There is just not a bird that flies with its 2 wings, but they are like yourself. They are just like us.
Of course.
What does that mean? It says in there, and to the Lord, those birds, those animals, the Lord, and to their Lord they shall be gathered. They're coming back. Like we think at the end of times, we think that we're the only ones that are going back. No,
But
all the creation is going back to Allah.
Yeah, that's totally different subject. But this is to point to the fact of all these creatures. You see, you wake up and you see the birds are all gathering, they're all singing, they're all doing this. They have purpose in life. Every creature has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The honey, they work so hard. They work so hard, not just for maintaining themselves, but for the benefit of humanity,
Mm-hmm.
for the benefit of others animals, for the benefit of the vegetation, for the benefit of art. Who inspired him to do that? When you, for example, I don't want to say, well, everybody's survival of the fittest, they're fighting each other, and that doesn't make any sense. There is cooperation, there is you see, there is harmony, there is the very idea of it is flawed. You know what I mean? And oh, we coming from monkeys. Give me a break. Why we still have monkeys to this day? Show me one proof that there is a, monkey transformed into human being. This very idea is very, it's very naive. But they brainwash generation and generation through the media, and they brainwash generation into accepting that religion. It's a religion in itself.
That's happening today. We have leaders today that they consider that by lying and continuously lying and repeating the same lie again and again and again, they think everybody's going to believe the lie. And there's a lot of people that have believed the lies.
A lie is a lie, no matter what, no matter what you do to it, it's just a matter of time that it will come back. And, there is a verse that points to the Quran. The truth always overcome darkness.
Mm-hmm.
The truth always overcome the falsehood. No matter what.
Yeah,
we come to realize that.
We should see how important that last paragraph also is, in the sense that we consider that we are the best of the creation. However, Allah will have everything that He has created coming back one day to Him.
Yeah.
So it's in there, and by that I think that we have to keep in mind, we have to bear in mind that we have to be respectful. We have to be very, very, very. It's like being professional. You're professionals, or we are professional with each other, but then we don't have that difference with the animal kingdom. We consider that we're superior, and we have to see that everything in this world has a role. Everything in this world was created with a purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that purpose we have to respect, and we have to love. Why? Because Allah loves it.
We take for granted so many things. Let's take an example. Here comes to mind. You see the mountains. The mountains have a role in life. The mountains act as a stabilizer for the earth. This is a new discovered scientific fact.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Japanese scientist who studying all about the mountains and everything, and become a Muslim because of this fact, because the Quran mentioned the role of the mountains as a big to stabilize the earth, because otherwise it will be like earthquake and stuff like that. And you see the mountains, what you see up, there is more than that down. You see them in
the same distance.
That's how they act, like as a stabilizer for the surface of the earth. That's very important. Allah mentioned that fact. That fact. You see, and of His signs, the creation of the heavens and the earth, and what He has dispersed throughout them of creatures, and the sign of them. He mentioned it right there. We'll go back to
Surah Luqman, the one that you were talking before. It's on page number 9.
Yeah. We don't want to go with. Yeah, go ahead with the translation and inshallah we'll go to it.
Bueno, hermano, también la traducción al español es de que en el Surah Al-An'am, que es el Surah número 6 a la aleya número 38, y decimos en este Surah: no hay criatura de la tierra ni ave que con sus alas vuele, que no forme comunidades parecidas a las vuestras. No hemos omitido nada en el libro. Vemos la similaridad de esa creación del reino animal con la similaridad de la creación nuestra. También vemos que nos dice: no hemos omitido nada en el libro. O sea que en este libro hay una información valiosa, una información preciosa. Lo que hace es los descubrimientos científicos que van aconteciendo día tras día minuto a minuto, año tras año, siglo tras siglo, lo que hacen es cada día confirmarlo más, como lo es lo de la teoría de la tierra muerta. Y vemos también de que dice, no hemos omitido nada en el libro, y luego dice, luego serán reunidos para volver a su Señor, luego regresarán a su Señor. Nosotros creemos que nosotros somos los únicos que vamos a regresar, que tenemos una llegada a la tierra, un periodo de probación y luego regresamos a Dios. No, aquí nos revela el Corán de que todo lo que Allah ha creado, Él lo hace regresar de vuelta para estar frente a Él. Y esa es la parte bella, esa es la parte preciosa de lo que tiene los mensajes del Corán, donde vemos de que cada día que pasa, pues estamos viendo de que, sin lugar a dudas, la gratificación de haber atravesado con éxitos las pruebas que tenemos en este viaje que tenemos aquí en la tierra, va a ser el poder estar ante la presencia de Allah y poderlo ver y poderlo adorar en persona y poderlo alabar a nuestro Creador, Allah. Brother Rashid, just talk about
Yeah, the Surah Luqman that you mentioned, 31:10. Yeah. خلق السماوات بغير عمد ترونها وألقى في الأرض رواسي أن تميد بكم وبث فيها من كل دابة وأنزلنا من السماء ماء فأنبتنا فيها من كل زوج كريم. He had created the heavens without any pillars or without support that you see. That you see. That means there is a mechanism that holding the hole in the sky, but we don't see it, but it exists. And had cast into the earth firm mountains. The mountains that is there, it's there for a reason, so that it quake not with you, that it does not shake with you, that it act as a stabilizer. This is a scientific mention. And he had dispersed therein all kind of beasts and animals and so forth. And we sent down from the sky, that means water, and we caused the plants of every goodly kind to grow therein. So there is so many mentions of miracles and so many things to ponder and to think about.
Well, look at the way he refers to the vegetation. Every noble kind.
Yes, of course.
Very noble kind.
So say, this is the creation of Allah. Now show me that which those you worship beside Him have created. Nay, but the wrongdoers are in error manifest. God is pointing to this. This is what God created. Now show me your claimed gods, your claimed, distant stuff. What have they created? You know what I mean? So this is something to think about for the people who worship stones, for the people who worship, there is people actually that worship monkeys. There is people that worship cows and so forth. Show me what the cow have created, or what the monkey have created, or
the sun,
or they worship the leaders, or so forth and so forth, or the people who are, show me, there is like a state that says, show me. Go ahead.
This is the translation. Nos dice el hermano Rashid, regresó de nuevo al Sura 31, Sura Luqman, la ladilla número 10, diciendo de que él había creado, o sea, Dios creó los cielos sin pilares, como tú los has visto, y colocó las montañas sobre la tierra, de modo de que estas, si convulsarán en conjunto con nosotros. O sea, nos referimos ahí a los terremotos. Y también diseminó por toda la tierra animales de toda clase y envió agua desde los cielos para causar que se desarrollara y creara la vegetación, y se refiere a esta como vegetación de todo tipo de clase noble. En esto estamos viendo, hermano, o sea, lo bonito, lo perfecto, lo poético, o sea, el mensaje, más encima de la poesía, lo bien caracterizado que está, donde nos habla de la vegetación de todo tipo de clase noble. Nosotros vemos entre los seres humanos, among the human beings, when you talk about nobility, you're talking about special people. You're talking about kings and queens.
Yeah, speaking of special, I'm glad you mentioned this.
I like it because every time I say something, we're just, oh yeah, just talking about that.
Speaking about
Go ahead, brother.
every single human being is special. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. God said we honor the son of Adam. The creator of the heavens has honored you, has created you, has created the heavens and the earth subservient to you. We see how he created the honey to serve human being. You as a human being, be it Muslim and non-Muslim, all human beings are a creation of Allah. Allah is the word for, the Arabic word for one God, the creator of the heavens and earth. Is mentioned also in the Arabic Bible, is mentioned on all the other, Jesus used to call, all the prophet call Allah by his name. So, this is very important that all human beings are honored as a creation. And they are the best of creation if they do what they were created for. The prerequisite here is to recognize there is a creator first, and to do to serve God. And by doing so, we're not doing God a favor. We cannot benefit God. God does not need us. We are benefiting ourselves. Whatever we do, God take that into account, and then when we die, the next life is whatever it's like the earth. Whatever you plant, you will reap. Whatever you plant the pineapple, don't expect to get to get watermelon or strawberries. You plant a pineapple, you're gonna get pineapple, not strawberries. That's whatever. You plant evil, you're gonna get evil. You plant goodness, seed of goodness, seeds of love, and so forth. So going back to what Brother Jesus said, there is some people who arrogantly they think, oh, I'm come from this family or this family or this family. I have news for you. We all come from the same family, from the human family, from Adam and Eve. Be it black, red, whatever. We come, and Adam was created from...
Those titles are almost extinguished, but you look at that, the way Allah refers to everything He has created, and He says of a noble nature.
Yes, of course.
Nobody is in there,
yeah.
And it's not adjudicated like we do it in here. We do things arbitrarily. Yeah. We consider that those are like the king or the queen of whatever place. They think that those people are special. They even think that they don't have red blood. They mention them as a blue-blooded people. Blue-blooded? We have blue blood and we have red blood. Why?
That means they are dead. Blue blood.
So it's amazing, because it's a special lineage. It's a special line.
Speaking of lineage, this is very important.
Let me translate a second.
Yeah.
Nos dice también el Rashi sobre la palabra, estamos hablando aquí de noble. Estamos diciendo, cuando hablamos de noble, que estamos en Sura 31, en Sura Luqman, a la ley número 10, donde dice, hemos enviado agua desde los cielos y hemos causado que se crezca y se desarrolle la vegetación de todo tipo de clase noble. Vemos esa palabra noble que yo le mencionaba al hermano Rashid, y eso le trae entonces ideas a él. Y recuerdo de que todo ser humano es especial porque somos los hijos de Adán. Pero a eso me refiero yo, de que siempre pensamos que nosotros somos los especiales y nosotros somos los nobles, pero fíjense cómo Dios lo hace tan bonito, lo hace tan especial, nos da el mensaje y lo hace hasta de una forma poética, donde dice, todo lo que se hace crecer aquí, esos animales, esa vegetación, de todo tipo de especie, todo tipo de clase, noble. Nosotros pensamos que la nobleza existe únicamente entre los hombres, y eso no es de ese modo. Todos siendo musulmanes y no son musulmanes, somos honrados como creación y somos especiales, debido a que somos los hijos de Adán y de Eva. Go ahead, brother.
We will do a special show about racism, to touch this subject, because this subject is very important. It touches everyone, and we see it. What the political agenda is right there. Some people are making it their agenda and so forth, and trying to separate people, the races and all that stuff. That's
no politics.
No, it's not politics. It's just we're talking about generally speaking. So let's we all come from one.
We will have to mention some politics because it's connected.
No, that's
Go
fine.
ahead.
We all come from
Oh,
Adam and Eve.
we want to do something also with this new approach, this type of show.
Yeah,
We want to touch topics that we didn't used to touch or discuss before.
absolutely.
And we want to be discussing day-to-day subjects and matters that are, really developing in our communities. And we have to be a part of that debate. And we have to share, we have to
Absolutely.
to put our little grain in there so that we will be uploading that information to the social media in order for everybody to know what we as Muslims, we're not the persons, we're not the speakers for all the Muslims in the world. But we want our community, and we're specifically referring to Masjid Jamal, and to be the way that they give us a message, we want to reflect it. We want to give it to you so that you are clear in what our position is, and so that you can see that we Muslims were also participating in the daily discussions. Go ahead, brother.
Absolutely. So the show will come to close, inshallah. So we're going to mention this,
Okay.
and then we'll go back to this, because the subject matter was the fact
Right,
of creation.
We have 8
And
more
we don't-
pages. We can finish.
We don't want to make it too long. We will do another episode about this, inshallah.
We can
So,
break it. We can
go-
break it into segments.
Absolutely. So going back to, we all come from Adam and Eve. So we are all, all human beings created.
we're special.
No, but special and so forth. So speaking of lineage, Prophet Ibrahim, his father is in hellfire, for fact. His father is in hellfire. Why? Because he used to worship stones, and he used to make them and benefit from them and all that stuff. Prophet Ibrahim was given the message, and he delivered to his father, and his father refused. Him and his people throw Prophet Ibrahim into fire, and miraculously Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, saved him from fire. Ordered the fire to be cool and tranquil on Ibrahim. So God is the one who created the fire. He can change its nature. So that's a miracle in itself. So if you're talking about lineage, the very father of Prophet Ibrahim is in hellfire, and Prophet Ibrahim is in paradise. So your father, your lineage is not going to help you. Prophet Noah, his son and his wife are in hellfire. He mentioned they were drawn with the people because they betrayed Prophet Noah. So there you have it. Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessing be upon him, his uncle and some of his family.
Could you repeat that, Prophet Noah?
Prophet Noah, his son.
I was still writing about that.
Yeah, his son and his wife. They were drawn. They were they were not safe. Because when he told his son, come to me to this, they said, no, I'm going to go to the mountain, and the mountain is going to prevent me from being drawn. He's like, no.
That's the one he was trying to rescue from the ship?
Well, he refused to go with his father.
Mm-hmm.
He refused to go with his father. He's like, no, I'm just, basically, he did not fully believe in his father, per se.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, well, I'm going to just go to the mountains because that's high, and the mountain's going to save me from that. So today, nothing gonna save you except that you come with me in that boat, the boat of safety, the Ark of Noah, and all that stuff. You see, the animals did not have any problems. The animals, Noah spoke to them, told them, and they come. Subservient.
They were humble.
They were
and
smart.
obedient.
They were smarter than human being.
They were humble and obedient.
A human being, Noah preached for
We
them.
as husbands, those of us who were married, like Brother Rashid, we have to be like that. We have to be humble and we have to be obedient.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
So that's a totally another subject. Since you talk about it, and so forth. So the bottom line is we're all human beings, and God does not look how our lineage and all that stuff. He just looks at our heart. What is our relationship with our Creator? Our relationship with our parents? Our relationship with our fellow human being? Our relationship with the earth? How we carry out our responsibility? How we do our responsibility and so forth. And we cannot be arrogant. We cannot be whatever good deed you do. There is no guarantee that's going to save you, because the intention behind the action is as important as the action itself. So we have to always bear this in mind. And we are just students of knowledge. We don't claim to be scholars or so forth. We have our respected imams, that is, that we seek knowledge from. We have the Quran, we have the Sunnah of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are just seeker of knowledge. We are seeker. So we want to make this disclaimer. But we welcome everyone to reach us, and we can do more shows, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Go ahead, Dr. Jesus.
Yes, we will be getting also a phone line for here, and also we're creating this weekend the website so that they can be we're doing this on Facebook Live. The people can be participating, and also they can be doing some questions, and if we have the opportunity, we'll be discussing those and responding.
Inshallah.
Nos dice entonces el querido hermano Rashid de que, bueno, ya llegamos al final. Noble es todo ser humano, ya que somos especiales, y ya como habíamos dicho anteriormente. Y cuando hablamos de linaje, tenemos que ver que el profeta Ibrahim, que se conoce en las otras religiones como el profeta Abraham, su padre está en el fuego del castigo eterno, en el fuego del infierno. ¿Por qué está en el fuego del infierno? Porque el padre de Ibrahim, el padre de Abraham, que fabricaba los ídolos en madera y se rehusaba, se los vendía para que entonces los exhibieran en los diferentes lugares en donde estos eran adorados, y Ibrahim trató de traerlo al camino correcto, y este seremos. Dios creó el fuego, y vemos como Dios hace también con el fuego. En el caso de Ibrahim, cuando él estuvo en la hoguera, lo enfrió para que así no quemara a Ibrahim. Vemos que tenemos un poquito de fuego. Usted coja una hornilla en su casa y póngala en high, póngala a toda velocidad. Cuando usted la tiene, coja un pedacito de papel y simplemente toque esa hornilla para que usted vea cómo eso inmediatamente causa fuego, se quema el papel. ¿Por qué? Porque ya pasó la temperatura y todo tiene un nivel de saturación. Y cuando pasamos ya de esa temperatura, ya sean líquidos, ya sea sólidos, como puede ser un papel, o puede ser un ser humano, o puede ser un animal, ya la carne a cierta temperatura ya entonces quema, coge fuego. Y Dios lo protegió a Ibrahim en la hoguera, y no permitió que el fuego lo quemara, y de ese modo lo que hizo fue enfriarlo. Vemos también que el profeta Noé, su hijo y su mujer fueron castigados por no seguirlo a él ni acompañarlo al arca. Para todos los seres humanos, lo que es nuestra relación con el Creador es muy importante, nuestra relación como padres y con nuestros padres, con todos los personas que representan ser aquellos que son significativos, las parejas, los esposos y esposas. Es muy importante que seamos nosotros pues bien respetuosos y que sigamos el camino correcto y el debido respeto para con todos ellos. También tenemos otra cosa que queremos decirles, que nosotros no somos especialistas, nosotros no somos escolares, nosotros no somos la última Coca-Cola del desierto en términos del Islam. Nosotros simplemente transmitimos un mensaje y queremos que ustedes tengan presente de que cuando nosotros hacemos eso, nosotros lo hacemos como estudiantes del Islam. Y queremos que ustedes participen con nosotros, hermano Rashid y este servidor. Somos estudiantes del Islam, nos gusta, nos fascina todo lo que tiene que ver con esta información, que lo que hace es que nos enriquece, nos nutre, como eso, all this information really makes us more, it nourishes us. And, vemos entonces que cuando nos nutre de esa manera, nos nutre espiritualmente y nos nutre materialmente. Vemos que nuestro intelecto se nutre, vemos que nuestro espíritu crece, y queremos que también ustedes pues se nutran junto con nosotros. Entonces pues hasta aquí, Pablo, muchas gracias. Pero Rashid,
a closing remark. We are as a human being, we are created from two substances, material substance and the spiritual substance. So material physic, you need water, you need food, vegetation, fruit and so forth to sustain itself. And your soul needs a spiritual food. The spiritual food is the connection to your Creator. It is the revelation. That's why you have to nourish it. If you don't nourish it, you will die. Your body. As you sustain yourself to stay alive, to stay this, you have to sustain your soul by knowledge, the proper knowledge, and so forth. That's why the Quran encourages knowledge, encourages you to think, to reflect, to ponder. And we thank our audience. We thank Brother Wasfi for doing the AV for us. We thank Masjid Jama'ah, and especially Imam Tariq, for allowing us to do this show in this new Musalla. We invite everyone, and we have, can you give me the flyer, the green flyer, inshallah? That was, there is
This is the chair, the big one.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
here,
brother.
there is, you're going to read the Spanish and the English. Learn about Muslim and Islam. Come to our weekly open house every Saturday at 6 p.m. at 2934 Pleasant Hill Road, Kissimmee. And here is the, right here. Can you see it, Brother Wasfi? Right here. Excellent, excellent. And then go ahead, Dr. Jesus, if you want to translate. And then
Lo mismo, el mensaje sería sobre esta pancarta, dice: aprenda sobre los musulmanes y el Islam, venga a nuestra casa abierta semanal, se celebra todos los sábados, va a ser, sometimes it's going to be 6, sometimes it's going to be 11, this coming Saturday will be 11 a.m. So it's going to be held, va a celebrarse en el 2934 de Pleasant Hill Road, Kissimmee, Florida, y vemos el teléfono es 407-800-1950 y el email es info@icorlando.org, icorlando.org. El sitio web es eso mismo, icorlando.org. Y ese es el teléfono que tenemos allí. Aquí tiene la versión en español del documento que estamos hablando. Lo otro que teníamos que queríamos decirle era, nos está hablando también el Rashid de que como seres humanos, como parte de la creación, pues estamos creados de dos sustancias, una material y una que es espiritual. Si no nos nutrimos, esas dos sustancias, pues van a morir. El Corán siempre nos motiva a que enriquezcamos esas sustancias y de ese modo estudiar y nutrirnos materialmente y nutrirnos espiritualmente. Queremos darle las gracias a todos por el tiempo y la atención que nos hayan prestado, al hermano Wasif, que es el que ha estado con nosotros, y al Imam Tariq, Rashid Tariq de la mezquita Al-Jamal. Ya saben que está en Ruby Lake Road, y por favor manténganse en sintonía, que vamos a estar subiendo y muchos otros programas próximamente en compañía de nuestros jóvenes de la comunidad islámica. Muchas gracias y buenas tardes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Turn them both off, please.